Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more random Defoe stuff. Defoe! So today's episode we're dealing with Retsu22, who was actually the first character that I made when I came back to Dungeon Fighter. He was, just that. When Neopal brought back the game and I downloaded the, I believe I actually joined while the beta was still going. Like the open beta test, this huge event they were having for everyone to like come in and try the game again. I think so. And I made him up as my first guy. I originally made him a, what's it called? Sword Master, I believe. Or was it Blade Master? I actually think it was Blade Master. But I did not like the class at all. Like I wasn't having much fun. I tried to, but it could never work. My sister had a Slayer who was also a Blade Master. When we played together, it looked like she was having fun, but when I tried it, it never came out as the same way. So yeah, that was that. So I actually changed him because recently they added the ability that as long as you haven't awakened yet, or I think it is hit level 50, you can reclass your character to be whatever it is you want them to be, which is pretty awesome, honestly. Of the first like 4 advancements, so I changed him to a Berserker, which is what my first Slayer was originally back in the Nexon days. I made him into a Berserker. Yay. And right now, what you're seeing is me going through the Tower of the Dead super fast, because this is one of the last steps in order to awaken. Because you unlock the ability to awaken level 50. I believe my character at this point is 55 or 56. I intentionally waited a bit because I actually was not good enough to get through earlier. Like I tried and it was just too difficult. I'm like, I don't want this to be so difficult. So I raised a few levels and now it became amazingly easy. So this is just me demolishing most of the tower. There's a cut somewhere in here where I jump a bunch of floors. But yeah, Tower of Dead. Basically you have to go through the whole thing and collect 10 warrior souls of some kind. It's like in there on the side, on the right side. Me though, like it's actually not that hard. There's certain enemies will drop them. Mostly it's named dungeon fighters like this guy in Mechanic Lakes. People like that will drop them, and as long as you get 10 of these, you can feel free to fail the dungeon and exit out if you want to. Of course, I have another task which requires me to clear floor 39, so I'm also gonna go up there. It's a really annoying floor. That's where Nightingale of the Death is. I think I mentioned her before. Basically, she has the ability to kill you in one hit, and it's stupid. So fuck her. But yeah. Also, see my guy is glowing red. That means that, there we go, that was a jump. That means that I am in, I think it's Frenzy mode. And that allows me to use his blood moves, which make up most of the top row. And he's got some really great moves that I really like. And my favorite one is, well, I mean, they're really hard to see in fast motion. But you'll see them soon enough. One where he just stands in place and like makes a tower of blood explode around him. Really cool. I have another one that's a twister that drags in enemies and then I slash them. Oh, these two are annoying. They really suck. And there, that was my revenge. Yeah. Meta Knight that shit. But yeah, the Cyclone one is very useful. I really like that one. Oh, I'm about to get to floor 39, which is the dumb one with Nightingale on it. Yeah, so I was really debating on whether to call this episode Retsu22 the Berserker or Retsu22 the Hellbringer, which is what I class changed into. I decided since the first thing I do is class change, I'll just keep it Hellbringer since I'm going to spend most of the episode like that. But anyway, there actually is one last thing you have to do for Awakening after you clear the Tower of the Dead and get the 10 souls that you need. And that is, you need to just basically bring a bunch of gear to your respective headmaster. So for Slayers, their master is GSD. So I gotta bring him Seals of Emperor Helm, Seals of Emperor Scardy, and Chaos Stone Debris. Which, since I played the game 6 times and I put everything in my account vault, I have a lot of all those things. So it's honestly never been an issue for me after like maybe the 2nd time that I had to collect those things. Because much like the Nihilistic Demon Stones, you can just go on the auction house and buy a ton of them. They're relatively expensive since you'll awaken much earlier in the game. But I think you should have enough money. Oh yeah, and this is the last floor. I actually did not know there were only 45 floors in the Tower of the Dead. I was convinced there were 50. So I was like, oh, this is gonna take a while. Next thing I know, Reaper Dreyfus over there. I was like, oh, this is the last floor, dude. Good luck. Not really. He wants you to fail. He doesn't like you, particularly. That jerk just stands there the whole time. I don't like him. I wonder what his story is. And there is some lore around the Tower of the Dead and just in general all the towers in this location of the game, but I don't actually know too much about it. All I know is there's a bunch of people here for some reason, and they like to fight you and try to kill you, so that's cool. Granted, if you die, you don't actually use up any life token to die, per se. You just get booted out, and it's like, try again later, bitch. And there you have it. I cleared the Tower of Dead. That was fast. In fast motion, anyway. Realistically, that took, I don't know how much time. I'll put the time here. I'll just unedit it and see how long it was. It takes a while, though. It does. Anyway, with those 10 souls in hand, I'm now going to go report to GSD and be like, dude, I got these things. Let me, what's the word? Let me class change. Alright, that was a night in the quest. And now she wants me to go and clear the tower again. I'm like, fuck that. So I completely ignore her and go elsewhere. And then, where's my GSD quest? It's completed, right? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Awakening quests are a bit weird. But, whatever. So, yay, I did it. And now he's just telling me blah, 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 this, that, the other thing. Whatever, GSD. I need my next task so I can class change. And there we go. That'll unlock my Hellbringer. And as you can see, there's the items. And now I'm going to go to the, to my storage room where Saria is and get all the items that I need. So I really like my Berserker. I think he's pretty damn awesome. And I'm really glad that I got him, that I changed him back to Berserker, because I'm back to having so much fun with my Slayer, and he's actually picking up some steam and getting close to the rest of my guys. Because I got 2 members that are in the 60s, and they're both, I believe, in Ghent. My Demolitionist and my Warlock are still working through Ghent, while my Demon Bane is, of course, still in Van Haven, the Oceanic Express. But this guy, he's still back at Ice Wall. I'm actually just about to clear out Ice Wall, if I'm not mistaken. I have a few things left to do there, but not too much, so it shouldn't be that bad. Anyway, I think I just grabbed all the stuff I needed. Yeah, I did. It's like, I want you to see that golden glow when I class change. So GSD is like, cool. But he has no faith in me surviving to level 70 or whatever. He's like, you're gonna destroy yourself. These guys are assholes. Here we go. Yay! I'm now Hellbringer and I have new abilities. Awesome. So, what I meant by that is that GSD, when you class change, he's like, dude, what in the world happened to you? Like, when you come to him for the awakening, he's like, oh my god, like, what are you? Because you've been through hell and shit. And Berserkers, like, the lore of the Slayer is that he has a demon inside his body, and to keep it at bay, specifically in like his sword arms, to keep it at bay, he has like these chains on his sword arm, you know, to like weaken it and suppress it. The Berserkers, like, basically they're like, fuck those chains and fuck like suppressing it. They're gonna fully embrace the demon and like take full use of his physical evil powers. So basically just allow the demon to ravage your body or whatever, and that's why GSD is like, what's the matter with you? And when you complete the awakening quest, he's like, well, you're a Hellbringer for however long that'll last, because he totally expects you to just wither away and die, because, you know, you are shaking hands with the devil. And yeah, so I'll be interested to see what he tells me when I come back to him for second awakening at level 75, I believe. Pungjin, the master of the fighter, said something similar when I came to him for my Black Widow awakening. I had been a what was it, Hellcat for a long time. He's like, wow, you've been walking this long road alone. It's not that comfortable, huh? You look like you don't even know how to communicate with other people anymore. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so I guess it has something to do with turning your blood into poison or whatever. But that's a whole different class. This is just me like outfitting my new skills that I got and using up all my SP, because I haven't used any of it up for like I think 3 levels, because I wanted to save it for my awakening skills to give it out at that point. So, and that's why I have a lot of stuff to do. Anyway, so yeah, the next step in this story, there's actually Actually, I think I completed Ice Wall. But like I said, when the DFO update came out, they changed a lot about how the game plays and what you can do. The story specifically. Aw, Silver Crown. The first area in the game. And they added in a dungeon named Vilmark Area 50 that you need to visit in between Iced Wall and Ghent. So after you complete the Ice Wall of Resignation, you have to go up to Imperium and visit Ghent and Antwerp Canyon and fight the cartels, that shit, normally. But now there's a sideshow where you have to join up with Vaughn to go find out what weird shit's going down here in Vilmark. That apparently some really crazy shit happened here in the past, and something has reactivated some of the monsters and stuff that have been laying dormant for the longest time, so you're just investigating and trying to figure out what that could have been. So yeah, here you are with Vaughn. And you're just searching around, and so the rest of the video will be me here. You have to run through Vilmark, I believe, 4 times. Yeah. Not too bad, but it is a little annoying, because like this room right here, there's no way to skip through it. You just have to keep beating these enemies, I think, until you beat a certain amount. And then the things that make more of them will just break. And it sucks too, because they don't give any EXP, these enemies, for whatever reason. And then those barrels and stuff in the way, you can't set those off. You just gotta wait till they light up and explode. So it's just, that's why I don't like running through Vilmark, because it takes forever. It's just a lot of standing still and waiting. There's another instance, we'll come back to those later though. So I've been using a lot of my skills. I have, I think, 3 new skills, I believe. Yeah, I tried to grab him, because this guy self-destructs if you don't kill him in time. I have a skill where I take my hand and grab an enemy, and then push them back with a little spout of blood. I just learned an advanced version of that, where I shoot them back with a giant fountain of blood that comes out of my hand, which is pretty awesome. What else did I learn? Because I'm pretty sure I learned 3 moves. I don't remember what the other one is. I do know that I learned this awesome blood sword technique. Not that one. Similar though. Instead of like making a sword out of blood and just charging forward and stabbing people with it, it actually forms behind me. Like I summon the hilt behind me, and the more I hit people, the more I cause them to bleed, the more the sword begins to form. So yeah, in this case, there's nothing you can do to speed this up, at least not that I'm aware of. You just stand there and wait for it to light and explode. Waste of time. But yeah, that's what you do. You summon the sword hilt, and once it's fully charged, you can hit the skill button again to use the ability, and it's awesome. I think I use it for the boss here. I could be wrong though. I'm trying to look at my abilities and see if there's anything new there. I think it was just those 2 moves. I think the third thing was a passive skill. I could be wrong. Once again, the hotbar is really small, so it's hard to tell exactly what's there. Oh no, I don't use it here. I didn't use it there because Vaughn is level 91, which isn't fair because the level cap is 86, so I don't know what he's smoking. Anyway, so beyond Vilmark, I actually I'm not too familiar with this area. My sister told me it was in the original run or an older version of the older version of Dungeon Fighter, but like I said, when Dungeon Fighter back in the Nexon days, I was bad at it. I didn't get far at all in it, so I'm not familiar with anything about this. I honestly cannot remember for the life of me what was the farthest I got. I think it was an area down south that was very dark and dreary and had a lot of elves there. A lot of people, like a lot of Kargon's people. Like Dark Elves, I think they are, like Sharon's people, those kinds of people. I'm pretty sure that's as far as I got. I could be wrong. Don't know what the area was called, don't know what was down there, but I think that was it. I don't know. Anyway. So I think those are... Oh yeah, and I also have another cool blood technique where I stand in place and I charge up a blood sword, and then I jump and slam into the air, and that causes huge crater, and then just blood spurts out of that crater, like fountains and fountains of it, hitting everything that's in the crater repeatedly. So yeah, blood moves are awesome. Another thing Frenzy does, because normally when you attack, like if you go back, on the first floor of the Tower of Dead, I was just using my normal sword attacks, just swing, swing, swing. If you activate Frenzy, you get a second sword made out of blood, and it changes your attack pattern, where you swing both weapons, and it doesn't really have an end. Like normally most Dungeon Fighters have like 3, 4, 5 hit combos, and then they reset. It just keeps going. You just hammer away the enemies like they were nothing. Alright, that was it. That was the big hand explosion, I'm pretty sure. And that's the sword blood explosion. Good time. There we go. I formed the sword made out of blood. And so you see, as I hit enemies and stuff, they help me complete the blade. And there we go. That's awesome. It does a shit ton of damage. Stab into the ground, endless fountain of molten lava? For some reason, just bursts out of the earth and destroys everything. Good time, good time. And this guy's really annoying. Certain classes, it's easier to deal with him, with certain people. But in this case, my Slayer is just not equipped to handle him. So he blew me up again. Thank you, Ass Jack. I think that's all in regards to my abilities. The rest of my abilities are pretty simple Slayer abilities. I have Ghost Slash, which is the Slayer's most basic sword attack. Mountainous Wheel, where he jumps in the air and slams into the ground. Although as a Berserker, it adds like an area effect blood attack too when they crash onto the ground, which is pretty cool. I think it's called Gore Cross, where I make like a plus in the air and then slash it. It's made out of blood because, of course, everything can be made out of blood. And I think Wave Wheel Slasher as well. I think that's what it's called. Where I hit the enemy and a giant wheel forms and hits the enemies multiple times. It's also area effect. Of course, if you miss with the initial strike, it doesn't do anything. And I think that's it in regards to my moves and where I am in the story. Like I said, exploring Vilmark to help Vaughn uncover something, because he clearly doesn't know what happened here. He's totally innocent and all that shit, you know? Yeah. Anyway, so I believe that is it. That is all that I need for Retsu. Yeah, I'm really excited to get him further along. I believe my True Blade Mia, last I checked, was level 70 or 71. I could be wrong. So she's really close to Awakening as well, and I think I can handle the Awakening challenge easier with her than I could with Janix. Because one thing Janix didn't have was range. At least not a lot, because she's a fighter, you know, up close and personal. That's her thing. But with Mia, I have the whip sword that has ridiculous range, so I think I'll be fine. Yeah, that's that. I believe that is all my characters. I do still have Zayu, my well, she's my thief. I haven't actually decided what advancement I should go with. There's a whole issue with that one, but if I ever do decide what I want to stick with, and if I get comfortable playing as her again, I'll do a video with her too in the future. But as of right now, that's all for my Dungeon Fighters. Maybe I'll even do a video on my priest if I get a priest soon enough. But I'm kind of absorbed into my current 5 characters that I'm hopping between. So yeah, that is all. And once again, play Dungeon Fighter. It's fun. So until next time, hasta.
Perfect!